are you to get started this season?
Yeah, well, first, thank you to Joe D'Antonio, you, Rob, and the CAA for organizing this media day. We've got our captains on here, Joe Fagnano, Adrian Otero. So excited to have them on here representing Maine football, our players, our coaches, the state of Maine, and the university here. I feel fortunate to be back here at the University of Maine, working with the players, the coaches. Maine is in my heart and soul. It's where I grew as a player and as a coach. To be able to be back here and give back is a tremendous feeling. Excited to work alongside our director of athletics, Ken Ralph. He's been really supportive in my time here, starting out, and our president, Joan Ferrini Mundy, along with our associate AD, Seth Woodcock, have all been a huge help here getting started so we can operate as an elite Division I program. So those guys have been great. So it's been full speed, and it's been a busy last 7 months getting started with this team, working with the players, and they've shown up every day and competed, which I've been really proud of their effort, especially looking at this summer and the commitment we had here on campus from our players, their willingness to work, willingness to grow and develop as people. And that's what we're really focused on right now.
All right, before we take questions for these guys, I'll go to the two student athletes. Joe, first for you, last year, obviously the injuries affected your season, but you came back and played the final 2 games, got a couple of wins over UMass and your rival, New Hampshire. Are you back to 100%, and how excited are you to get going?
Yeah, I'm back to 100%. I think, the coaches did a really nice job just helping me get back. And then for this season, that's in the past. I'm ready to get going. Excited to, with the team around me, the new coaching staff, and just excited to get back out there.
And Adrian, you're 4th year in as a starter, and one of those guys that wants to carry on that tradition, I'm sure, of the Black Hole defense. What does that mean, and what kind of leadership role are you taking to kind of continue that tradition?
It means a lot, for the standpoint of leadership, bro, it's the same as every year, just focusing on the team, focusing on our guys as a Black Hole, coming together and just, finishing out a good year, just coming together.
All right, we'll open up for questions for all 3 of them. We'll start with Craig Haley. Go ahead, Craig.
Thank you, Rob. Coach Stevens, one of the talks earlier was about the newness across the league, and you're part of it. What does that mean for you and your program? What's it mean for other teams around the league when there's a lot of change?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it shows that we're willing to progress. We're willing to advance as a conference, which is exciting to be a part of a conference that's willing to do that. And, being able to change with the times of college football is important, whether it's recruiting or how the conference is structured. It's important to be able to adapt within that. So I'm excited to be a part of this conference and back in this conference. Excited the direction Joey D is taking us, and the coaches in here is great coaches in this conference, and players, and the tradition here, being the 75th anniversary, excited to, see what's to come next too.
Sure. Thank you, Coach.
Larry Mahoney with questions. Go ahead, Larry.
Thanks, Rob. Jordan and the guys, I'll ask you the same question. Thoughts on being picked 8th in the conference, and then handicap your season. What are going to be keys to you guys having some success and sort of exceeding the Thank you.
You want to start with that one?
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah, I mean, and where we're picked, I mean, it's not really our focus at this point. Our focus is on the start of camp next week and getting better fundamentally, getting better from a physical standpoint this preseason. And we feel like if we take care of what we can control, things will fall where they need to this season. So that's really been our focus up to this point. And I mean, the keys this year, we're really looking defensively to be a defense that's physical, number one. We play fast, we play together. That's been those 3 things are what we've echoed to the players from the start of spring practice, and really that will be the message throughout the season. I mean, we return a number of guys with experience on defense up front and at the linebacker position. Offensively, we want to be able to continue to improve our execution, and let our identity show through in our play. So Got a lot of guys coming back up front. Obviously with Joe coming back, and then a number of our running backs will have a ton of experience, and at the tight end position with Sean Bowman. Excited about the pieces we have there this year, and really playing through those guys and their leadership.
Go ahead, Joe. Just following up on Larry's question, just about handicapping your season and going into the year.
Yeah, I mean, just to, kind of carry off of what Coach said, I mean, just controlling what we can control, really what we focus on, letting everything else out, else on the outside handle itself. And then being better than we were the day before. I mean, just continuously getting better throughout camp, throughout the season, just being better, not only individually, but as a team, and just keep growing.
How about for you, Adrian?
Same thing as Joe said, we just want to, come together as a team, as a black hole and as a coach for the offense, just coming together and knowing what we can do as a team and just finish out the season strong.
I have a question. I can't see who it is, but from ABC7, Fox 22. Go ahead.
How's it going? I just wanted to ask a question. I could probably do one of each, but I'll start with Jordan. Coach, so obviously you're about a week away from starting your first training camp as head coach. What has kind of gone into that process of mapping out exactly what you want from a week to week, day to day, but also just message in general? Kind of what has that process been like for you?
Yeah, I think, to start looking at, the amount of time we have together, being smart with how we plan, organize our days, our practices, when we're given off days. That's something I've put a lot of time into, and making sure that we're taking care of the guys here and making sure that we are 100% when we get on the field, and, we can demand on them to give everything they have, but also taking care of them on the back end, and knowing that, we do have a block of practices before our first game, and get into that first game healthy, but also prepared is a balancing act. And that's something that we feel like we have a good plan set forth. And that's been something we've worked on as a staff over the last few months. And, the message is, for me getting here, it's the message of our culture. It's the message of, what are we going to stand for, who we are as a Maine football team. That's going to be the message, because we have over 20 players coming into our program for preseason. We had a number of players here on campus, first-year players this summer. But, for me being year one, our message is going to be about who we are as a team, our identity in terms of how we play and how we carry ourselves on campus. All those things, we want to make sure that we have a strong foundation that way. And, that's not to take away from anything we do on the field, but we want the message to be simple. We want it to be practical, and something that we can put into place and we can get feedback daily on. Are we hitting the points we want to hit? And are we coming through on what we say we're going to do? So, those are all the messages just about the process here, and excited to go through that process with these guys.
And a question for Adrian. Rob kind of mentioned it, just continuing the tradition of the black hole, but for you in particular, wearing that number 6, obviously the legacy number through the years for defensive players for Maine, what does it mean to have that and have this leadership role with the 6 on your back and in the front?
It means a lot. I know the previous players that had it, have come to me and, talked to me about it. And, it means a lot to take this, big number and this big leadership role. And other than that, but the team knows what I can do. We come together, and it's just easy. It's nothing like a big, big thing. We all know each other, and it's just ready to ball out.
And then for Joe, we've talked about it in the past before, since the end of last season, but losing obviously Andre Miller, Devin Young, a couple of your weapons here. What has the process been like for acclimating with some of the newer guys, but also some of the guys like a Jacob Henney that are role players here, and kind of filling that role with the departure of those wide receivers?
Yeah, I mean, every year you're going to lose talent. So, I mean, that's nothing new. But I mean, I've always had a good relationship with those younger guys now that they're coming up. So I'm not too worried about, names like Sean Bowman, Freddie Brock, and then even some of the receivers like Xavier Scott, Tigo Moss, these guys, that I've been 2 years now, I've been, getting reps with practice and on the field. So I think the relationship's there. I think now it's just time to go and put it on a showcase out in the field.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Next question from Azar Johnson. Go ahead, Azar.
All right, this is this question is for Joe. You guys finished the season 5-1 last year. I know you say that you put the season, last season behind you, but what can you take from last season of that 5-1 finish and bring it into this season to negate that slow start that you had last year?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, going 5-1 to end the year was, I really think that we wanted to ride into this offseason, and I think we did. Just a lot of confidence, brings a lot of an energy to the team, knowing that, when we put it together, we can get wins, we can stack wins together. And now we're just looking to take that right into this season.
Thank you.
Before I let you go, Jordan, I know you touched on it a little bit in your opening comments about the 75 years, but you had the opportunity to play in this conference as well as now coaching in the conference. What has been what has made this league so successful over the years?
I think the biggest thing is you got to show up every week. You got to earn every win from top to bottom. Competitive league. There's not much disparity between teams, and there's going to be matchups every week that you're going to have to work through and that are going to challenge you. And I think that the tradition of where we are at the University of Maine, this would be our 130th year of football. This would be the marking of the 40th anniversary of the 1982 Yankee Conference championship team and the 2002 A-10 championship team. So we're excited to honor those teams this year, along with being the 75th year as well. But so many great players throughout this conference, and just excited to be back here and compete.
All right, Jordan, Joe, Adrian, thanks so much for taking time with us today. Good luck as you get practice started here in the next few days, and we'll look forward to catching up with you during the season.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you.